Okay, the rain has finally stopped. It's been raining pretty solid for about 2 days, and like heavily raining at night and then just kind of consistently raining during the day. So it's made it difficult for me to be out there on that greenhouse. Fortunately, it isn't raining today. It poured last night. So today I'm hoping I will be able to finish everything up on the greenhouse here so that I can put my poly on top, and that might be tomorrow. As long as it doesn't rain today, I can do this. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting up a second set of ridge poles along the top. So I'm just using 2x4s, which I've done in the past. It works fine. That way I've got three ridge poles along the top. They're 4 feet apart. And then I will be putting up my sides here, and then that's where my channel lock is going to strap to, so the plastic will come down and secure in there. And so my goal today with this puppy, finish that second top ridge pole or the third top ridge pole, get the sides up, get the channel lock into there, and then I got to put channel lock all up this one, and that's what the plastic's going to secure into. And so if all goes well, if the weather's agreeable, then we'll be able to roll our poly over top, strap it down. But I kind of doubt we'll be able to get to putting the poly up today. We'll see. You never know. That would be really nice if we could, because actually the temperature isn't getting colder. It's actually been getting warmer, but just more rainy. And that's what's been preventing me from keeping on this. Our orders have drastically slowed down, which is finally great, because it was amazing how far we pushed our summer production schedule this year. It was like literally right up till last week we were doing huge summer volume sales. Now the restaurants have drastically slowed down. You know, they're very affected by weather. So whether it's wineries or some of the other restaurants we sell to that are very tourist based, they slow down as soon as the weather gets sour. So it's been piss and rain for a while now. I'm surprised they didn't slow down sooner. That might have been because of events and catering events or things like that. So they finally slowed down, which has bought us time to finally get this almost finished. We've got our walk-in cooler back in the greenhouse. We still have to just seal up the air conditioner, the cool bot system, stuff like that. I've done that before. If you want to see that video, just click up here. So that's what we're just moving that back in here. Nice thing about having the cooler in here is that it becomes a sort of passive heat source, because the heat coming off the air conditioner will heat the greenhouse. So I had it in here last winter. It's great. It helps keep the greenhouse warmer. And then we've got all of our other washing and post-harvest infrastructure. Drying screen is up here now and functioning. Our salad spinner, this is the new one. It is working. We have just been putting our laundry bag type things in it to spin, because I haven't finished these yet. But it is working, and I'll probably make a video on that sometime soon. So we're stoked about that, because these containers here, these Rubbermaid containers here, will all have holes in them, and then we'll basically just, you know, take greens out of here and dump them in there. We are also setting this place up more, so like this is all of our sprouting flats. You guys have seen me do this, planting microgreens in the past. And we're gonna put a little office in here. So there's periods of time that I'm going to be away in the winter, and so Mark will be here invoicing, doing all the spreadsheet inputting and stuff like that. So that's gonna happen in the greenhouse. We're gonna make some kind of thing that covers all that computer equipment at night when we leave, so that it doesn't just get humidity in it. I mean, it's actually fairly dry in here because we're running that dehumidifier, and we've got good air circulation, not to mention our heat pump that pulls humidity out as well. But you know, I've actually had it happen before. I had a printer for invoicing in one of my shops that I used to rent, where I had microgreens growing, and my paper in the printer got all soggy because it just absorbs humidity. So you got to make sure, if you've got computer equipment in an environment like this, that you keep it protected. So that's something we're going to be setting up very shortly too. It's just kind of part of the winterizing of this greenhouse. This greenhouse is basically like a farming ship. You know, the whole we do all of our post-harvest work in here during the winter. We're growing in here. We work on projects in here. The office will be in here. Most of everything we do day in and day out will happen in this space because it's nice and warm and the light comes in. It's a beautiful space to work in. You know, but all the harvesting and all that stuff that's out in the field, of course, that still happens there. But everything that comes off the field comes in here, gets processed, washed, portioned, packed, walk-in cooler here. This space is a spaceship, essentially. Poly low tunnels out on all of our core plots that are closest to us. Well, our birotation plot has poly tunnels on it now too. And so that will be great because, and it is great, but it will be great coming up in the next couple weeks because all this rain that's been cooling down the soil, all the tunnels has been keeping that rain off. And so that means that we're gonna have a lot of stuff to harvest in the next coming weeks that's under the tunnels, because everything in the tunnels is just gonna grow faster than stuff outside. Primarily it's because it will be keeping the rain off, which means when you get the cold drop at night, you're not going to have that same fluctuation in those tunnels as you do outside. And so when I've done these videos on tunnels before in the past, I've talked about that, but I just want to reiterate it so you guys fully understand that this isn't so much about creating a microclimate like a greenhouse would where you're heating it or anything like that. It's more about sheltering it from the weather extremes. And so when it comes to winter, it's keeping the precipitation off so that the soil doesn't freeze, and also just keeping the fluctuations in temperature more stable because you're not having all that weather affect the soil where those crops are growing. That's the main idea. Like if it gets minus 20, it's still going to be almost minus 20 in there, but the soil won't be as wet, and that's the most important part of it. So I had to do some DIY strapping to put the woods together here, and I just had some, this is just some galvanized steel strapping that the chain link fence people gave me when I bought all this stuff. And it's just like, maybe that's 1/8 of an inch thick, maybe like 5/8 wide. And so I've just did a little DIY strap in there. Just drilled through it on the spot and just put the pieces together. It's really sturdy now. Now I'm going to do the bottom 2x4s, and then I'll go and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here for the day so I have enough time to go and put this video up so you guys can see it in time. I will probably work on this till dark, but you can see I've got the 2 pieces running up there. The next thing I'm going to do is just put the channel lock in, and just so you can see for the sake of the video right now, it just runs in like this, and it'll run all along there on the top and there on the bottom. This channel lock here is really the most important one for keeping the poly down, well, that and the edges. And then this one down here is just going to be for the winter. So that the whole thing will be double layer poly with air between, and then in the summer or in the main season we'll undo that one, and this all will roll up to here. I'm going to also This space here to the ground, I'm going to bury in some insulation. I'm looking at a rigid, it's like that blue stuff I've used on my walk-in cooler before. It's an R40. It's like 1.5 inches thick, I think. I'm gonna bury that into the ground about a foot, maybe 6 inches, depending on how much I can get to here. So insulation will go up to here, and then the poly will end there, and I'll put a landscape fabric over all of that, and I'll bury it into the ground a little bit. So that's my plan for the side. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you later.